Hi, everybody. This is Black Spring with Autumn, and this is just a test. I want to thank you guys so much if you are tuned and tapped in at this time. And if you just bear with me, I'm just doing a test on a couple of things. Thanks so much. Hi, guys. And this is supposed to be a test, but somehow I end up getting wrapped into doing more than a test. Hello, AZ Infidel, nice to see you. Seems like it's been a lifetime. And Anarchy Television, thank you so much. Hope you guys are doing well out there. I will tell you there's a possibility that I will do this live stream later this evening, but I know if I don't do it later this evening, I will do one tomorrow morning, like really early. And hello, Ronnie Man, how are you? So I will tell you, it's just basically next time. Next time on Black Spring with Autumn, we will be dealing with. We're gonna just have a look at some of the EOs um, that have come out, and I'm gonna try to get away not so much of the low hanging fruit. Of course, whether you sat through the event yesterday or not. Of course, some people are, they had their eyes set on other things, and of course, they even had stars directing our fate. So we'll see. But that's what I will be getting into on the next stream. So you guys kind of got a bit of a preview on with this test. So I'm going to see. I'm going to run a couple of things here to see if everything is working. And it's kind of nice to do a live test because I get to see whether you guys are actually getting this. Hello, Ronnie Man. Thank you so much for coming in. Yes, yes. And I don't mean to make light of these things. These are actually really troubling times, and it's just like I said before. You can stand up or get your bearings. It's like another wave that comes along and just kind of smashes you, and then until the next thing comes along. So there's some particular areas that I'm going to look at. There's some bills that we've talked about in the past that I kind of want to connect some dots with in terms of the EOs. The EOs are actually going to be substantiated by that graveyard of bills that the Tessenois Pelosi has spoken of over the last 4 years. So there's a pile of legislation that's already out there ready to go. Not just what did I see, something like, fact check me if you want, something odd, 17 EOs. But there's also, for every EO, I think there's already a bill that's just waiting to go to the Senate on many of these, on the reinforcement and there's legislation already there. So for everything that's been on their wish list, it's I I anticipate that it's going to come, and it's going to be rapid. I think it's going to be rapid fire on some of these things. So that's going to be the premise of the next live stream, if you will. And it's kind of late in the day. I really try to get things out, these kinds of items out earlier in the day because I know it's heavy. It's heavy, and I don't know. You guys are winding your day down, and I don't drink fine spirits on this show, but if you guys are having it, you're in a 5 o'clock somewhere kind of a mode, and then all of a sudden you get hit with an EOI kind of a EO, not EOI, an EO kind of a stream. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think yesterday was a very interesting day, to say the least. Pretty disheartening day, and I'm actually stunned at the number of people that actually seem to know they seem to be more awake than I imagined. Um, yeah, I mean, but today I think you're still pretty much in the minutia when I think about like mainstream media or even some of these pressers that may come out, or of course they're focusing on these very important things like what color, I guess, what color is the carpet going to be changed to, all that important stuff, right? So, but we will be looking at some EOs, and of course, I think what I'm calling the corresponding or the corresponding legislation that's just going to link right up to these EOs. And I mean, you know, it's a civic labor, I guess. And so I go through these things, um, so you guys don't have to in some way. So I appreciate you guys for joining me on this test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a couple more of these. I'll be right back. All right, a couple of comments from AZ Infidel. He says the battle continues. Well, I thank you for that, AZ. I appreciate it. And Anarchy says, reminds me of a football analogy called a blitz. You guys are actually you guys are actually teaching me things right now. And AZ says Biden is doing to Trump what Trump did to Obama to unravel things. And yeah, AZ, I really appreciate you so much for coming out. And actually, of course, I want to say hello to anybody that's humoring me with this test right now, or just this is kind of more like my tests turn out to be sneak peeks or whatnot. But I will thank the loyal patrons, the subscribers, and of course our friends over on Periscope. So with that said, I'm going to run over to. Actually, they're probably not seeing this right now because it's a test. It's a limited test, I believe. So, and thank you guys for taking care with the AI. That helps this channel and its dissemination. And I did a video yesterday with just, I guess, the framing or the posturing of that ceremony that we watched yesterday. And I don't know. I did give my sentiment on that, or I did talk about that yesterday. So I'm going to thank the sponsors really quick, and I'll be right back. Thanks so much, guys. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, there's something for everyone. So please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back, right after this. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. And yeah, I really appreciate it so much. And Ronnie Man says this is a test of the emergency broadcasting system. Well, you know what I said? Who was it that said this is the Black Spring News Network? And apparently, maybe it will turn into that because, there's some wonky things happening. But I will tell you that over on Periscope, I did a little bit of a sneak peek earlier. So, they've kind of gotten, I'm going to try to do a little more over there. I'm going to try to throw some caution to the wind because I don't know. I think it's easier for me to say some things there and then see what happens. But we'll see. And I'm going to run another commercial really quickly here. Thank you guys so much for taking care with the AI. And I don't know, do you guys have any? Did you guys actually watch? Did you guys actually watch that yesterday? What I want to call it? I said the ritual. Yes, I saw the ritual. Or did I say I looked at the ritual, and we can all look at things, but we can see, we might see something totally different. So um yeah, but I appreciate it all. And Az said I watched parts of it. Well, and I'm going to reiterate something that I said. There was a even the clouds were a little ominous yesterday. It was not it was heavy. The entire day I think was heavy. um yeah, it was a heavy day. A lot of I don't see that was it just looked really dark and heavy, and nobody, it didn't look like it was a ceremony for the people. Let's put it there. It just, I don't know. It's not, I mean, I needed to watch it for different reasons, but then I don't think I don't think it was a boost. I don't think it was a boost by any stretch. And who knows? But you know what history will say. So I'll be right back. We'll do another commercial, and I'll be right back. Ronnie Man, he says, I fasted from all the foolishness of the day. I hear ya. In all seriousness, I actually fasted myself. And I don't know. It was a whole lot, a lot to process. I mean, and I still don't think it's completely processed, or can I say, for lack of a better word, it's digested. So I think that's part of the reason why I don't think it's going to be. I think it's just going to be, you know, once I go through these EOs, it's going to be even more to digest. So, um, but I thank you guys so much for coming in. Let's see. What else is here? Paralysis, how are you? Paralysis says I give until March before Camelto takes on the reins. Mm, mm, yeah, well, yeah, it's very, yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody, I don't know if anybody, I guess people didn't realize that, that, I don't know, it's just been a lot to process. It's surreal. There's a surreal to right now that's, undeniable for me. And Anarchy says, everybody that was singing at the event made a lot of money. This is the thing, my deal. I'm not a fan of Hollywood. I'm not. I don't even the singers. They're all to me a part of the same ilk. And they think they stars direct in our fate. So they almost kind of have you know, an entitled I think they feel entitled to be a part of these things and to put out whatever they put out. I'm not a fan of any of those performers that were up there. It's funny that Garth Brooks reappeared, which I thought was bizarre. And I can't even. I think the only thing I could think about when I think of Garth Brooks, I go back several years ago and I'm thinking Faith Hill, and yeah, it was, yeah. But that element, you see how much in demand they are, with a regime change. So I don't know, go figure. And AZ says Fox News could not find out from FBI and Homeland Security when the troops are going to leave. Ronnie says you shout out to the commencement ceremony for the Hunger Games. Right. I'm just thinking, how dark can you be? Like, you guys actually want to televise this? You actually want to but see, that's the thing, is at first I was hearing that this thing was going to be virtual. So they went from virtual to what they had. And what else am I seeing? AZ says yesterday and last night we were using global hawk drones to surveil Ukraine and Crimea. The Russian rhetoric may be coming back. Yeah, I'm trying not to. I think it's just civic awareness is about as, is, I don't know. I just can't. I don't know if I'm going to bring this channel back full loop into every single every single cut of this administration, because I'm telling you, it's going to be deep. And I'm just thinking, just trying to, what can I say, keep your head above the water, so to speak, is about what I'm going to be on about. Just trying to stay informed and try to share some things that that I've not only looked into, but some things that I think are, of interest. Um, so I mean, I just can't, but on the level that, I mean, it's intense. It's been an intense 4 years. And it's even before that. I would go back probably a year before that. Um, yeah, it's just a whole lot. And Anarchy says get ready for 15 an hour, $50. Yeah, I mean, economically, it doesn't look good at all. I mean, but the thing about it is that they've said what they were going to do. They've been saying what they're going to do, and I don't know. I mean, of course, I've heard all this. I've heard all these rumors about even another party, and I just don't know how many illusions we're going to keep. We're going to be able to keep up another 4 years of illusions. I with the current system, how many illusions are we going to be? Are they going to, not we? but are they going to be able to keep up? I just don't see it, it's exhausting. So I don't know if I want to play that game. I'm not gonna. I'm not saying that I played it, but I'm just saying I don't know how much investment I'm going to put into either way. Um, but yeah, you'll get that. You'll get the objective here. Um, it's gonna be, basically the same, but I'm just the work that needs to be done. I don't know how that's gonna get done. I don't know. Um, I don't know. We just don't. We know a lot. I think we have a blueprint, enough blueprints, but I don't think that we have. But you really don't know um, how soon, how fast, or I think I'm even thinking to myself, the next 3 to 6 months are going to be pretty critical, and we all have to do our individual parts to make things work. Um, but yeah, I just think that there's some dark times, or we'll see, we'll see. And yeah, when I look, and we'll get into those things, some specifics tomorrow. Um, Biden's going to pull us into the climate change accords, shutting down. Yeah, he's already. I mean, yeah, I guess he stayed up all night. I guess on Ensure or whatever. I don't know. What do I know? He says I have a running. Oh, really? You have a running list of what's coming up. And Paralysis says, as for the inauguration singers, Bon Jovi should have sung "Living on a Living." Well, I don't know. Ed Archie says, "Yeah, Garth Brooks." I have not. I have not. It really is. I'm trying. I'm trying. Az. It's just. I mean, I'm trying. It's just like I know what I have to do, and that's if we all just do what we need to do, just do what we need to do, do what we know, do what we already know that we need to do. I think that'll make things a lot better. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was heavy. I mean, it was heavy. Yesterday was really heavy, and it's still heavy. I'm not going to lie about it. It's just it is what it is. And it's not what it's not. It's not what it's not. And when I say that, it's not unity. That's their buzzword. They put it on. They put it on their little media palettes and send it right on out to you. Now we have unity. Poof, pixie dust. Everything bad goes away. So, not buying that either. But yeah, it's like a shovel. I mean, and there's no way that I'm going to go through every single one of those. Uh, oh, Bed Callie Garcia, how are you? Yesterday I felt like a surf. Oh wow. Now that's uh, now that's putting it there. I a plebeian. Well, Az, you guys help things. You guys make things more interesting. I will certainly say. So you guys coming back here makes a difference. And yeah, we'll do what we can do. And but I will tell you, I'm just saying that I don't think I think anything is possible, but I don't know. People, what is it they say? When people show you who they are, believe them. And I don't want to get that wrong. I think I've heard that was by Maya Angelou or Angelou, whatever, however you want to narc me on that. Go on and do it. Knock yourself out. But that I'm not the author of that. So that's what I'm saying. This whole, yeah, it's gross. It's really gross. And let's see what else I have from Anarchy says I finally got in my shop today and actually got some stuff done. Yes, I saw. I watched like 3/4 of your video, Anarchy. So it's not that's good to hear. It's nice to hear that you were able to to recenter yourself after seeing your video. And I'm going to finish it because I think something happened, or something came through or something, and I started doing something else. But I always go back and make sure I finish the video. Or sometimes I start it all over, just depending on what it is. I mean, you guys should check Anarchy out for sure. He's a great storyteller, and yeah, I think he speaks from the gut. Let's see what else. So yeah, I will certainly go back over, and I'll of course I try to check out everybody's page, even if I don't know, even if I'm not, even if it appears that I'm not going on your page, I get around to pages. I do. But I will tell you, like I've been around YouTube for I haven't been a content creator on YouTube for a long time, but even no matter what I'm doing or where life takes me, I've had this channel going. Like even when I was working, like bizarre hours, I always had I was always anxious to get back to this platform, and I appreciate you guys, every single one of you. I remember some of the first people that subscribed to this channel, and I remember that, and I never forget, you guys coming in, um, and even the shift, even the change, even the change that I've had, had some people come, some people go, and for the most part, I think, it's. I'm glad, anybody that's here that wants to be here. Like, if you don't want to be here, I don't want you to be. I want you to be happy wherever you are. If you're not happy here, then you know what I say here. You guys have choices out there, so you don't have to spend time here with me. But I'm not gonna. I'm trying not to bum you out. try not to try not to bum you out no matter what. So like I said, we'll do what we can, and this was just kind of a test or sneak peek. So tomorrow, I guess we'll get into the weeds of some of this stuff. But I'll tell you specifically tomorrow. I'm probably only going to get into about two of those, and it'll be two EOs, and then probably a corresponding legislation that's either waiting, that's in queue, that actually supports that EO. So it's really not, we know that EOs are, they're not the most, I consider them kind of a band-aid or temporary fixes or temporary whatevers. But if there's legislation already out there that just needs to be passed by the Senate, then I think I think that the chance of something like that surviving long term, or being, um, which I think EOs kind of, they do alienate, whatever they do alienate the system, the Congress. But I'm sure his people are telling him what to do. So he's just doing what he's told to do. But these things were already they were already on the docket. There's, you know, let's see. Um, but Callie says, I'm worried about the history books children 10 years from now will see pictures of this inaugural and will think the nation was under attack. Um, and Joseph, hi Joseph, Francis Burton, thank you so much. Joseph says, I'm most concerned about all the hoodwinked people. My 80-year-old mother says that Biden cares about people. Uh, when did 60s radicals start trusting what the media feeds them? Wow. I understand. I understand very well, Joseph. I thank you for sharing that. It's pretty amazing, but they've done a job. They've done, in the words of Air Gates, dare I say, if they do a really good job, when because he's an enthusiast on so many of these issues, whether it be mocktails, whether it be population, whatever. But I think the demoralization and the whole thing where what was it, Yuri Bezmenov, the whole process, the subversion, that they've done a fantastic, they did a really good job with the subversion of America. They really did. In fact, this guy, he was like a dissident from the, you know, from his time period in Russia. I mean, I think they've done a good job with what they've accomplished what they wanted to, and then some. Um, but I think some people are taken by illusions, and we can't really survive like that. Friends in Code, thank you so much for coming in. And Angela Reed, thank you so much for coming in. And Ronnie Mann says that poem was an original by 22-year-old National Youth Poet Laureate Gorman. By the end of it, no, it's always the same. The content, is talented. The thing about arts to me is it's very subjective, and that's not to say that I'm giving or taking anything away from anyone, but I'm thinking in these times, any they use the same playbook all of the time. um the same playbook all the time, and the appeal is always, it's always the same. I mean, got people twerking on the National Mall. I'm not impressed, to say, let me just put it down here where the cows can get it. I've seen slam book poetry, I've seen the Space Jam poetry, uh, I've seen it all. I mean, I even tried my own hand at it just one day, just messing around. And I think we can all, I'm saying artists, that's what they do, is what we do. We express ourselves. But it always goes back to 400-year plight, which is exhausting. And I can't, I don't, I just, that's there again, that's a dark, it felt more like a requiem. Paralysis. Are you around? So can we get a requiem instead? The music, even from the, I didn't even. I mean, of course, the musicians are always fine musicians, but the music was dark. The selection was very dark. I think, what was it? Amazing Grace was even performed. Now that's not something that I would program. That's programmed. Um, it's I really, I'm kind of going into it again. I didn't even discuss the programming of the thing on my commentary from yesterday. I didn't do that. I just kind of, you know, I just gave some basic framings, but I didn't get into the nuts and bolts of what I witnessed, because it was just dark. I mean, I was just thinking, okay, I thought I heard procession. It was like Rimsky Korsakov, almost like Procession of Nobles is what I was getting, the vibes I was getting. But it was so, and that, even that tune is pretty dark. But this, to me, it was much darker, much much darker. And Bet Callie says, I enjoy your streams, nice people and intimate. Thank you so much, Bet Callie. Really appreciate it. Bet Callie says, some lady just said she filled articles of impeachment. She filled. Um, oh my gosh, Lockhart perspective, you're here. Thanks so much for coming in. And believe it or not, this is a test, and this is what we do. Fantastic stream last night. If you guys didn't get a chance to see the Lockhart perspective and her fantastic interview with Mr. Potter, great job. Um, very very interesting and very very informative interview. Um, Great content. And let's see, paralysis says lugubrious statement incoming, just like 9/11. The puppet masters wanted the election fraud to be obvious. A rigged game is exemplary of futility. Quote, the only winning move, dot, 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 is not to play, end quote. Thank you for that. Well, there's also, it's almost like this is the narrative is set up. Like the other day I came on, I was going to do the coverage on a domestic terrorism act, but they never came through with that. It's the domestic terrorism prevention act of 2020, and this was supposed to be done by the sponsor, or Schneider, and yeah, so they never did come back with that, so I didn't cover it, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's not coming. That's an HR 5602. So yikes, yikes, yikes. All right, so hang on one second here. Okay, so Anne Lockhart says, I'm exhausted. It was a musical nightmare. Yes, 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 yes. Very dark. I mean, and I'm not gonna. I mean, there's beauty in dark music, but it's. Yes, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Third question. That's a tough question. Probably. It's a tough question. I'll get back to you on that one. Verdi's. I mean, all three of those guys are giants. Same to all giants there. Um, and AZ Infidels is in our minds. Each one of us has a worldview. We have been inundated with information for the past 3 months. We have to assimilate all that information into our worldview, but it takes time. Yes, it does. Um, yes, it does. Thank you, Lockhart Perspective. And Paralysis says, okay, yeah, so Mozart is exquisite as ever, but I think maybe there was a response. Maybe those two. I really love Brahms and Verdi. I love all three of those composers. Let's see. Look at Dr. Bombay. He's chiming in. Ah, Felicia says, and they admit a ritual. Yeah, they used a lot of language there yesterday. That a lot of language. Um, Dr. Bombay votes for Mozart. And Dr. Bombay says, good evening, host, and all the chat members. Salutations. How are you, Dr. Bombay? Thanks so much for coming in. And, I mean, I didn't want to do, I mean, this is probably not going to sound ladylike or whatever, or this is not going to sound great, but I'm like, I wasn't going to set up it's 5 o'clock somewhere, you know, yesterday, and with a backdrop, 99 bottles of whatever on the wall, or a bunch of wine behind me, and a bunch of wine in cages, and say free the Reds. No, I wasn't going to do that. Let you guys do that on your own. You could do that on your own. But it's still heavy today. It's still heavy today, and I'm saying that I'm saying that with all sincerity. Um, but AZ says snap out of it. Snap out of it. Deploracle's here. Deploracle's says, I didn't see any news today. Did anyone notice any admiralty flags around him? I don't know. I didn't. I have to say that I'm right there with you, Deplorable. I didn't watch it today. I didn't watch anything today. I was still, yeah, because what I was going to do yesterday, I didn't do it. And yeah, so it's just kind of like let that sink in. Let that sink in. Um, Lockhart. All right, guys. Yeah, so actually, I'm probably going to wrap us up and pack us in. And yeah, I mean, honestly, like what was going to do, like, I've seen all kinds of live streams and all kinds of things. I've seen, I'm not a barista or anything, but I did tell you I was going to give you guys the straight up around here without the whipped cream or whatever, not like Starbucks, you know. But you guys will have to do your 5 o'clock somewhere. I don't know. I once said, maybe I'll do that one time on like a midnight stream or something. But I always have water on hand or some sparkling water on hand. Hello, Kathy Latour. Hello to you. How are you doing, Kathy? Nice to see you here. It's always nice to have you around. And Beth Callie Garcia says there wasn't an evening event. Oh, I don't know. I guess the next question would be, I think I heard that they had an inaugural ball scheduled, maybe, but I don't know if they went through with that. I don't know. Not that I would watch that anyway. I'm gonna just be honest. I wouldn't be watching that. And Dr. Bombay says, "Oh man, I just got here. I thought we were going to talk about astrology. LOL." Oh my gosh! And the Lockhart says that purple Revelation 7:4. And Ronnie Man says that's because Capitol building is their temple. Ronnie Man, I salute you. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, because it's not just Biden. It's Pelosi has said it all the time. I even saw Pelosi holding the gavel one day, and it was probably about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. She was holding the gavel over her head like a scepter or something. It was bizarre. I mean, she was in rare form that day, if you can imagine that. I mean, it was like even her midriff was showing because her clothes were all mangled. She was because it was such an awkward and such a to me an inappropriate. They're such pearl clutchers. I was like, what exactly is she doing? I guess that's a place I don't have to go into. I think I've been in the Capitol a couple of times, but yeah, That's where we are. Yeah, Kathy says, nice to be here. I'm not doing good. You know that I can't lie. Oh, Kathy, hang in there. But yeah, so I'm going to run a little commercial and I'll be right back with you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming in on for this sneak peek casual chew on this kind of a kind of a deal. We'll be right back. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, there's something for everyone. So please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. All right, guys. And let's see. I'm going to read a few more comments and then I'm going to button this up, fold this in, and say so long Don't ask me the latitude or longitude. I don't have it for you. Okay. Callie says, I asked because Jules' dress needs to go to the American Museum. Deplorable. Joe just stands in the middle while the guests dance around him. And Anarchy says, these politicians are not our masters. They are not our kings and queens. They're almost just like snake oil salesmen. We must, as the people, put them back in their place. And that Callie. Dr. Bombay says, nice, she even has interlude music. Well, try not to make it a total sleeper wherever available. So yeah. But I'm gonna go through and thank everyone for coming in for tuning in for the test. And if you haven't had a chance, if you go over to the community tab, or even just check out the videos, because I think that video yesterday was a little bit squelched, if you will, but it's certainly there. So we'll start out with the one, the only AZ Infidel. Thank you, AZ, for all that you do in supporting the channel. Thank you, and Anarchy Television. Thank you so much, Ronnie Mann, a gold standard in stripes. Thank you so much for all that you do out here in these social media streets. I won't say the YouTube streets. I will say that. Let's see. We're gonna get to Paralysis by Analysis. Thank you so much for coming in and supporting the channel as you always do. Thanks so much for being a patron, as well as that Callie. Thank you so much. It's always nice to have you here. Nice to see you around. And I don't want to be a broken record, but I am ramping up a little bit on the other platforms. Actually, I'm going to run that one before we go, because that is important that you know where you can reconnect, or at least have some other direction in the event that the channel falls, or or you lose connection, or that's where you can go. Joseph Francis Burton, thank you so much for supporting and for being here. Thanks so much for being a patron. I really appreciate it. Angela Reed, thank you so much. And AZ, I will check out your link. I appreciate it very much. And Bet Callie, thank you so much again. And the Lockhart Perspective, thank you so much for all that you do. I really appreciate it. And what else do we have? Thank you guys so much. Dr. Bombay, thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. And it looks like that's a deplorable. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Nice to see you here. He says, Joe and Kamala, no, they are usurpers. I imagine sleep doesn't come easily to them. Good, I say. I really appreciate it. Yeah, but I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I'm really I'm not sure what's coming down the pike. And actually, I'm probably going to plunder through some of these EOs so I can, see what's going on. If there's anything else, as if there's anything else we need to be concerned about. Imagine that. So just hang in there. And, but yes. So I'm going to run this other commercial, and then I'm going to get us out of here. All right, guys. I thank you guys so much for hanging in there. And also, if you didn't have a chance on this test sneak peek, then you will have an opportunity to help us feed the AI around here by hitting the like button, the unlike button. I'm not sure if I got a share or something out of this, but yes, if you could hit those buttons, and make sure you're still subscribed. I mean, that's pretty fundamental and pretty baseline, but it's still important around here. So if you could hit that and make sure you're still subscribed, that'll be helpful. And I will see you guys on the next live stream in the comment section. Another live stream, Moonlight stream, or the way I am with the habit that I have of doing tests. I may even see you on another test, but probably not another test in the next 24 hours. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your Thursday and a great end to your week. And I'll see you guys later.